So I thought it would be good to quickly go over what I did for prep and some of the things that I specifically did for the cilantro brown rice because I didn't follow the traditional way that you make rice. I used my Instant Pot because I find that my Instant Pot can make rice quickly. It can make it in like 23 minutes, as you'll see, and it's super fluffy and super delicious and always cooks right. Generally, the problem when you cook rice on the stove is that it takes a really long time to cook, and it also is generally not as good as it's not as fluffy, which is what you want rice to be. But I digress. So, for preparation for this recipe, some of the things that I didn't show was me chopping all the vegetables. So, I chopped pepper, onion, cilantro, jalapeno, romaine lettuce, tomatoes, garlic, and I also made mango salsa yesterday, and I put it in the fridge to let the frozen mangoes soften up along with all the other stuff, so it gets a really good fresh fruity taste. And I rinse the black beans. I get my black beans in a can. I don't like cooking dried beans. It takes a while. It's the same thing with rice. I'm a graduate student. I don't have a lot of time. So generally going for a no salt added black bean in a can is very easy. It's generally very inexpensive. It costs me like 79 cents per can. So I generally stock up on a lot of cans of beans because I eat a lot of beans personally. And then vegetable broth. So I buy a concentrated paste that all you do is you put it in boiling water and you stir it. So it literally takes maybe like 3 minutes. The vegetable broth paste that I use is also a low sodium vegetable broth paste, and it's generally maybe $3 or $4, and I keep it on hand because it can make like 20 batches of vegetable broth, and it's incredible. It keeps in the fridge really well. So that was some of the prep that I did beforehand that you don't get to see because sitting and watching me cook prep vegetables is very tedious and would not make for a good video. We could be there for 20 minutes just watching a video of me prepping vegetables. The other thing that I did really quickly that I just showed a quick clip of was I put brown rice, cilantro, lime juice, and garlic in with my dried brown rice, put it in the Instant Pot, and put it with a cup and a fourth of water, and then just put it in my Instant Pot for 23 minutes. I use my Instant Pot to cook brown rice because I find it generally takes a lot less time, and it also is generally really fluffy. The traditional way that you would cook brown rice is that you would put it in a pot with water. Like generally it's like a 4-to-1 ratio, so 4 cups water to 1 cup of brown rice, dried brown rice, and you would bring it to a boil and then let it just like turn the heat down and cook it for almost an hour, which takes a really long time, and I didn't have a lot of time to do that. So I just put it in my Instant Pot, and that's how I cook rice all the time now. And then you'll see the clips after that are just me preparing the recipe, which I'll go over. So thanks, and I hope you enjoy. So obviously this is just all my prepped vegetables, the dried brown rice, the mango salsa, the black beans, and the vegetable stock. And then this is just me putting my cilantro brown rice into my Instant Pot and getting it cooking while I'm cooking my Latin style beans, turning the Instant Pot on, and we're good. Now I'm going to start cooking the beans by sauteing red onion first. I prefer not to use oils, so I just use vegetable broth, or you can use water to make sure that they don't stick to the pan while you're sauteing them. I moved the vegetable broth over closer so I had it more accessible. So when I needed it, to make sure that the onions don't stick, showing you like the vegetable paste that I use. Generally I'll use about a tablespoon of vegetable broth or water. Just all depends what I have on hand. So here I'm just using 1 tablespoon to just keep the onions from sticking to the bottom of the pan. And after they're translucent, then I add in the chopped garlic. So here's me just moving it from my cutting board to my pan and cook those until they're fragrant. Adding more vegetable broth as needed to keep all from sticking. And then moving on to our seasonings. So here I used a blend of smoked paprika, cumin, oregano, and chili powder because I like my beans to be kind of spicy. And then I just stirred it in, added some vegetable broth. And then now we're moving on to the pepper. So I took my chopped pepper and I put it in there, stirred it in with all of the onion and garlic and seasonings. And then added in jalapeno, getting all of that off the pan. And then I added the black beans. So you can see a lot of black beans. And then added the vegetable broth. The remaining vegetable broth. I had at least 1 cup. And now you can see my little workstation. So there's 2 ways that you can serve these. You can either serve them on a warm tortilla, which you would just put the tortilla on like a frying pan for 30 seconds total, so 15 seconds each side. And then you put it together by putting the rice and then the bean mixture and then any other toppings you want. So I had lettuce, I had green onion, I had tomatoes, and I had my homemade guacamole, and I had the homemade mango salsa, which I should have used like the mango fruit salsa on this, but instead I just used lettuce and tomatoes and guacamole. Putting the guacamole on there, I had to grab a spoon, but I edited that out. Pushing the guacamole because I overstuffed this taco. Mistakes you make while you're trying to film putting food together. And then the second way you can do it is by making a salad, which is my favorite way. So I had probably about 3 cups of romaine lettuce, and then I just packed on some rice. Packing on a lot of that rice. Not really, it was about like 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup. And then putting on the bean mixture, which I put on about 1/2 a cup of the bean mixture. And then adding some cilantro, adding a lime wedge, some green onions, some tomatoes, and then guacamole. You basically have a burrito bowl that is healthier for you than Chipotle. I hope this gave you some ideas of some meals that you can make at home. I hope you enjoy.